running the streets of Detroit for the past 4 years or so, but this morning a violent Detroit gang has been dealt a major blow.
This is a dangerous group.
That's what the FBI says a 4-year investigation involving state, county, and Detroit police revealed. The FBI also says that this gang was based out of a Detroit home at 7 Mile and Hoover, that the Hustle Boys formed 6 or 7 years ago. And when they started, they were promoting events at nightclubs, but they eventually started dealing drugs like OxyContin and marijuana.
Rap music is a competitive battle, and when two rappers from the same hood start rising up the ladder, things can get ugly real fast. That's exactly what's happening with two rappers from Detroit, 42 Dugg and Sada Baby. The beef keeps escalating. Things are getting gory. Both rappers are going hard, and things are starting to take a deadly turn. Because of their gang affiliations, many innocent lives have been lost. Things are only gonna get worse before they get any better. But hold up, I'll break it down for y'all. So strap in, cause it's about to get real. The backstory. Dugg and Sada Baby are in an all-out war. Now, for those of y'all who might not know, Dugg is a famous and respected rapper from Eastside Detroit. He started from the streets, so he's no stranger to how things roll there. Dude was just 15 when he was caught carjacking with a firearm and sentenced to 4 years in prison. While he was there, he got into a fight with an inmate and earned himself 2 extra years in jail. But he didn't let his 6 years locked up go to waste. He found his passion for rap and developed it so well that when he was released, he started his music career with a bang.
I started rapping in prison. When I was in jail, I did 6 years. I had 4.5 years for carjacking. Ended up doing 6 for a whole nigga.
It was a loud local buzz.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I will always remember what you taught me.
He hit the mainstream level real fast and was already planning to become a superstar. He met Lil Baby in a dice game, and just like that, Baby featured him on his album My Turn and the deluxe edition on the tracks Repaid and Grace. The song Grace hit the top 10 of Billboard Hot 100 that year, making it easy for Dugg to strike a deal with Yo Gotti's label CMG and Lil Baby's label 4PF. These deals allowed him to spread his wings across the Memphis and Atlantic rap scene. Bro was strategic. All those years in the prison ain't for nothing. He was being mentored by industry veterans. His music was traveling across cities, and things were looking good. The only problem was that Sada Baby was also going up the ranks at the same time. 2 rappers, 1 city. So, you know the competition was inevitable. The competition. Sada Baby was 42 Dugg's biggest op because of multiple similarities. He was a rapper from the same city, making huge waves. The only difference was that while Dugg was from the 6 Mile area of East Detroit, Sada was from 7 Mile, and Sada hadn't been in the streets half as long as Dugg. Sada was pretty young when he started rapping. He used to freestyle for hours every day, but it couldn't pay the bills. Eventually, 3 years later, he left his grandma's house to get a job, but that didn't quite work out, so he gave up and joined a gang. But joining the Red Zone Bloods at 22 was not normal. He was on the older side to be joining as a member and faced lots of backlash for it. Active gang members usually jump off the porch at 18. In fact, joining at 22 isn't allowed in most places, but eventually, he made them proud with his music. For those of you who don't know how it works, the problem with joining a gang means automatically inheriting age-old beef with rival gangs. And that was the case with Sada and Dugg. They have never gotten along because, based on their affiliations, they were sworn ops.
You keep on letting it think you're gonna put a battery in your back to where you're gonna grow the nuts to try to do something in school, and you're gonna dumbass.
Both of them are active members of 2 rivals that have been enemies for more than 15 years. Both sides have recorded heavy losses from their rivalry, but they still haven't backed down. They've constantly been at each other's throats.
This is out of control. How many more press conferences like this? How many more scenes? How many more hospital visits, burials do we have to go through?
Things were spiraling out of control when T Grizzly, another successful Detroit rapper who's been around for a minute, tried to help him get along. He took a fatal blow for it, and his aunt's body was found lifeless. But we will get into that in a little bit. The middleman. So here's the backstory. Grizzly had his first big break in 2016 with a song he recorded and released the same day he got out of prison. And before y'all start acting crazy, homeboy wasn't in a gang. Dude just happened to grow up in the streets. Crazy childhood, really. His parents were always in and out of jail. In fact, in 2012, his dad got killed. And the year before, his mom was sentenced to 20 years for moving drugs. So yeah, his grandma had to raise him. He tried to live clean and studied finance and accounting at Michigan State University. Respect to him for trying to put his rough childhood behind him. But things got real hard for him in college. He had to steal from other students to put things together. He got caught once, got released, but he didn't learn his lesson. Before we knew it, dude was already robbing a drugstore in Lexington, Kentucky. Got caught and was sentenced to 9 months in jail. On his release, his first day out freestyle helped him build a name for himself, collaborating with Meek Mill and Lil Durk. Soon, he was one of the leading rappers in Detroit. He wasn't gang affiliated, but he got wrapped up in the drama between the 6 Mile and 7 Mile gangs. When he was just starting out, Grizzly teamed up Twins on Secrecy, but shortly after, he signed Sada to his label. 42 Twins got pissed, saying Grizzly was full of fake love and called him out for pretending to rock with him and then turning against him by signing to his ops. Grizzly, who was innocently trying to spread the love and put money in everyone's pocket, tried to get 42 to see it from his point of view, but 42 Twins weren't having it. He put up a picture of him on IG with the caption, "Don't get your car flipped leaving that block." Grizzly explained in the comments that Twins reached out first for the feature and that none of his homies F with him because he isn't real. Twins came at him threatening to have receipts to prove that Grizzly hit him up first. After the exchange, Grizzly found himself in the center of a 15-year-old beef.
See that 4-2 shit, man? You see that 4-2 shit, man? See that 4-2 shit, man? That 4-2 shit for real.
This shit be real, bro. I got niggas done died. Brother in prison. Niggas in prison, bro. Died over this shit, bro. This shit is real street shit, bro. Then died, bro. You can't play it like me close and then go run it with my op and befriending my ops and think that shit supposed to be cool with me.
He should have known better, but he clearly wasn't prepared for what came next. In 2019, he had a collab with 42 Dugg on the track MWBL, and people started thinking the beef ain't that deep. But bruh, the war had just begun. Later that year, Grizzly was moving down the 3 Mile area of East Detroit in a black Chrysler when his car got sprayed with bullets. He wasn't hurt, but his 41-year-old aunt and manager, JB, unfortunately didn't make it.
We've learned the victim is the manager and aunt of nationally known Detroit rapper T Grizzly, and now police are trying to figure out if he was the intended target. Detroit police responded to the area of 3 Mile Drive just off Mac Tuesday night on the east side. They were out to collect evidence of the multiple bullet casings regarding a deadly shooting there. It turns out someone opened fire onto a black Chrysler with 3 people inside. Among those in the vehicle, Detroit rapper T Grizzly. Police don't know if the rapper was the intended target or not, but what's clear, his aunt, who worked as his manager, along with another young man, were all in that car Tuesday night, and that's when someone intentionally shot the vehicle, killing the 41-year-old manager.
JB also happens to have been Sada's manager. After the funeral, he left T Grizzly's label because he wasn't being managed properly, and also because he hated Grizzly for collaborating with his ops. Sada and Dugg's beef got thicker after a party in Detroit. The 42 gang performed a diss track aimed at the 7 Mile Bloods while Sada was there. And then, one time, Sada even got robbed. His chains, money, and drugs were snatched at a studio, and people started whispering, saying 42 Dugg must have had something to do with it. Cleveland rapper Doughboy came up to say Sada was stripped naked and robbed with his own gun.
Go tell niggas how you got stripped in the studio with your own pole. I'm gonna go tell niggas how your chains got took. I'm gonna tell how your bracelets, your watch, all that shit got took. Your money, everything you had on you got took. I'm gonna tell that.
I had that pole and I was going down. You knew that. You knew that.
Sada denied it, saying it was all cap.
Who took Sada Baby's chain?
Nobody.
That's all cap on the internet?
It's super duper cap. It's reaching for exposure and thinking the best way to bubble is to say they had something to do with some shit. with an artist who got way more going on. And
But 42 Dugg didn't miss the chance to step in and mock Sada and take credit for it. Sada insisted that both rappers were capping to gain clout on his name. There was no evidence to know whose story was real, so it's up to the fans to decide. They still haven't stopped dissing each other on social media and in interviews, and when Big Sean featured them both on Friday Night Cypher, Sada trashed Dugg's verse. He once shut down a club performance after a DJ played a T Grizzly and 42 Dugg track back to back.
Hey, unless you want me to flip this bitch, hey, bro, put my music back on, bro. You want to keep playing niggas I don't with. You better not play no Dugg while I'm in this. What's wrong with you?
He also said he was a disloyal fake gangster who hides in Detroit. Dugg responded to all the disses by posting a video to his Instagram saying that he's smoking on hella bloods today, disrespecting some of Sada's dead homies. So neither side is trying to be subtle about how they feel about the other crew, and both rappers' careers have actually taken off. 42 Dugg has been featured on tracks with major artists like Future and Roddy Ricch. Meanwhile, Sada Baby had Nicki Minaj remix his track, Whole Lotta Choppers, which ended up going viral on TikTok. Before we continue, let's reminisce on some similar situations in the past that have led us to losing people we love and artists who have lost their lives way before their time. We need to do better as a whole and help these kids understand that this isn't the way. We don't need to be friends, but we can all get this money together. But I digress. Back to the video. So far, Sada Baby has stayed out of trouble with the law. But in 2020, Dugg was arrested for fleeing from police in a rental car. And not long after, he was arrested again for violating his probation by visiting a gun range. He was also the possible target of another shooting that occurred at the filming of the music video for his collaboration with Roddy Ricch's For the Gang.
Some people heard 20 shots, others told me maybe even more than that, up to 30 or 40 shots when they believe it was multiple people firing as a group came in here during the music video shoot. And I just got confirmation the two artists involved are rappers 42 Dugg and Roddy Ricch.
Neither rapper was injured, but two other men were shot and later treated at the hospital. At first, fans thought that maybe Sada Baby had something to do with it, based on their past beef. But another rapper from Mobile, Alabama named OMB Peasy was arrested in connection with the shooting. Peasy has maintained his innocence, but since it's an open case, he hasn't spoken about it much. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and held on a $60,000 bond. Internet rumors claim that Peasy was not the one shooting up the music video, but was firing back at someone who was. Peasy isn't known to have beef with Dugg or Roddy Ricch, but he has collaborated with Sada Baby on his track, One Me. So if the two artists are cool, that could point to a possible motive. Either way, things are still tense in the streets of Detroit, and no one is truly safe. But with so much drama, it's gonna be hard for Sada and 42 Dugg to bury the hatchets, leave the street life alone, and focus on their music. Like we said, this is what needs to happen though. We cannot continue to cycle through these insignificant feuds. When these guys are at the verge of being something they only dreamed about, I want to send all the positive energy towards anyone who may be tangled in a situation like this. Hip-hop is a beautiful and aggressive culture. However, we can truly bring it back to a positive place with the right mentors leading this younger generation. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments if you think these guys need to keep their beefs and egos on blast to keep their names relevant. We hope you enjoyed watching this video and learning about these talented kids. Make sure to check out these other videos popping up on the screen now and help us out in the algorithm by liking, sharing, and commenting. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell because we are bringing you new content like this every week. Let's keep it real out there and start coming together. Thanks for watching to the end. And as always, we will see you in the next one.